Sun is pointing directly in my fucking window.
Here comes the sun. Do
Do do
do do
do
do.
do.
Here comes the sun. I
Copyright
say,
strike.
go
When
away,
when
sun.
you get a chance, you should probably set up a tin foil in your window.
What?
If you put tin foil up on your window and then cover that with like a dark paper or a dark sheet or something, it keeps the heat away, or it helps.
Look at these life hacks.
My old room was west facing. It sucked shit.
That
My
feels like
room
a
is
good way to
facing-
not be able to open windows.
You only put it on the glass. You
Oh.
cover the.
My room is facing the house next to ours, so I generally keep my window closed, so I'm not having the risk of people staring at me.
That's fair.
I want to be cold. I miss winter.
Yeah, I do too. All these insects are out flying around now, and they keep just biting everywhere. And you're like, how did I get that bug bite? Oh yeah, I had exposed skin for like 20 seconds.
I would put up with the leg cramps from the cold. That's fine. I'll go with that. I'll do stretches and shit. I don't care. Just no more of this, please.
Yeah,
I just want to be cold.
we've been really busy at my work, and it's really hot, and I'm working in a kitchen as well, and it's just torture. And then I go to work out, and I'm working on the garage, and there's not a lot of ventilation in there, so that's also kind of torture.
Hmm.
Well, that sounds
Heat.
very unpleasant.
Yeah, but you know what? I have a pool, so I'm good.
One that you guys actually maintain.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Hooray for you and stuff.
Hooray for me.
Yeah. And hooray for us, because welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 300. Ooh. I'm twirling a finger in the air in celebration. I don't
I
fucking care.
can't believe we made it this far. Honestly, can't believe it.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, why are we still doing this? It's funny because it's true. So, yeah, I'm Casey. Hi. And stuff. It's hot. I want it to not be hot. I'd like to get the show done so I can open my windows and have the fan on again for a little while. That'd be pretty cool. It'd be cooler than this right now because it's hot. And Zero's here.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
I'm hot. Did I mention?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Not just in the attractive sense right now. So, Slice is here.
Hey, I live in a basement, so not too bad actually. But yeah, it's gonna be warm today. I have become the stereotype.
I'm jealous. So does someone want to go?
I'm looking at Gekiso Sentai Karanger, which I think is the original Japanese version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I just need to read this line out. After the Baozok, a ruthless, not to mention reckless gang of interstellar biker thugs destroys home planet of Hazard, Dapu visits Earth, where he discovers 5 humans with the ability to harness car magic. With this power, these 5 heroes can defeat the Baozok before the band of witless bikers is able to add Earth to its list of wrecked worlds.
Man, they're teens with attitude. They can do anything.
Also, there's like an alien that looks suspiciously like Yoda.
Is he their Zordon?
I guess.
It was an adaptation of the Super Sentai series Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. Power Rangers. What it was. I was curious.
The ability to harness car magic. I want to harness car magic.
I mean, wouldn't it be really ironic if you went to a planet without cars? You know, half the planet could use car magic. That would be a weird thing.
It's just
at that
like,
point, wouldn't it just be regular?
I guess. Why does it have to be reliant on cars?
Because the diesel in your soul sings to the magic spirit.
Okay, you're winning me over with that. The diesel in your soul sings.
I don't know.
It's a non-renewable resource. Burn bright, burn short.
I'm here for a loud time, not a long time.
Oh. So, quarantine has still been, loads of fun. Loads of fun. I binged Parasite the Maxim. You guys ever see that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Same.
Okay. I really like that show. Basic premise is there's these parasites that are inhabiting human bodies, entering in their ears or through their nose while they sleep, and then eating their brains and then taking over as the person. Our main character manages to stop the parasite from reaching his brain, and it gets trapped in his arm.
Oh, is
And
it that way? It's always in his hand.
yes. He cuts off the circulation in his arm in like a panic, and it ends up maturing in his hand instead of like in his brain.
Does he wrap like a tourniquet around his arm and then tighten it really tight or something?
He grabs like a wire and then ties it really tight.
Huh.
And like it's pretty crazy. So these these parasites are able to greatly alter the bodies that they inhabit, allowing them to, for example, split their heads open into blades like Resident Evil 4, and then slice somebody to pieces. As these parasites like to eat people. And our main character has to coexist with the parasite in his arm while trying to, protect himself from the other parasites who recognize the signal his parasite is letting out and like trying to go meet up, and they're like, "Oh, it's human. I'll just eat you. Sorry." Well, not sorry. They don't care. Very, very ruthless, logical things.
I feel like I might have heard of this just from a single thing I saw where, like, the parasite sort of follows the will of what he wants subconsciously. So he sees a hot girl or something, or he's trying to pick up a girl, and his arm turns into a dildo or something like that.
I don't think that happens.
Oh, that might be it. I know there's a series called Parasite that happened in. I don't know whether that's the same one. So,
I mean, might if that happened, but I don't know. It is a very mature series. Lots of blood and violence. Yeah, and it talks about a lot of interesting issues and themes, kind of life and the meaning of it and what deserves to live, and the cycle of nature. I highly recommend it. There's lots of great stuff in here. Yeah, just go watch it. It's very interesting. It's very different from how I was expecting it to be.
Well, that's good. I have like anytime anyone talks about the show, which isn't super often, it's been positive every so.
They added it on Netflix recently, which is why I binged it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it gets pretty gory at times, but these things are not meant to be nice. And the idea of coexistence is constantly a sort of a thing that gets brought up of like how do we reconcile these two very different things, and why are the parasites targeting humans to begin with? But yeah, go watch that. I also just finished watching the anime of Darwin's Game with my friend Don. We've been watching that for a while.
Just want to clarify, I was absolutely right. It is that, but I think it might just be in the manga. Anyway, sorry, interrupted.
It's okay. Yeah, we watched Darwin's Game, which the premise of that one is there's basically an app on your phone that you install. It's like, welcome to Darwin's Game, and then this hallucinatory snake comes out, bites you, and you have a superpower awakened within you, and now you have to kill people in order to get points, get money, and eventually perhaps win the game. If you decide not to kill people, you might have a random encounter with somebody on the street in which they decide to kill you. And losing doesn't necessarily mean that you die unless you run out of points. If you run out of points, you die. I was really enjoying the series. It's not quite as like thought-provoking as Parasite is. It's a lot more junk food, but it was still very fun to watch. The main character, by the way, gets the power to basically copy and then summon items like Shiro, but with mainly guns and other things. So he'll summon like a pistol to his hand and then shoot it, or like a grenade. Very useful ability.
Very.
And there's some other characters, one of which is like the kind of a little bit crazy girl whose power is over chains and things that have like a string-like structure, and she has these long chains with pointed ends that she uses to basically just Spider-Man her way around and kill people. So a lot of fun.
And is the animation of these fight scenes good? Is the end?
Yeah, there are some that have been really like impressive. Not all of them are great, but there are some that really stand out. So I recommend it. I feel like I feel like there's a bit of edge in there with the direction the main character goes, but it's fine. It's not like super thought provoking. Just have fun, watch some cool fight scenes. There's this dude whose power is over plants, and he creates like a plant mech armor that he wears on it, and it looks really sick. So yeah, that was Darwin's Game.
Well, all right.
I recommend you guys check that one out. see. Aside from, you know, fun things to consume and biding my time in oh yeah, I got Xenoblade, Definitive Edition. Which is Xenoblade 1, completely remastered, and a lot of the graphics just straight up replaced. All the character models were redone, which, thank goodness. I don't know if you guys have seen the comparison shots of Xenoblade, but
No, did the model swap, was it really needed?
oh yes, yes, I need to pull this up again because it always gets me. Their faces look like, yeah, look at that.
Oh God,
Yeah,
it's like they made just like a flat head face for a character and just slapped a JPEG on it.
So this series, it really needed it. It has some very beautiful worlds, but the lack of textures can, yeah, it looks beautiful. The game just is gorgeous, and it's so great. They added a lot of quality of life features, including a much more hands-on quest tracker, because these are huge worlds, so you can now, when you're running around, you can see the exclamation points of things that are related to quests. You can also highlight a quest, and that'll make sure that those things are always up, and you get a direct like mapping to where you need to go for that quest, which helps a lot. Makes all the quests very easy to do.
That's really good actually, because the Surge, the game I was playing last week, is not good for quests. You really got to pay attention to exactly where to go, and some of them are not very obvious at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, quality of life stuff like that, very appreciated.
This game also has a ton of side quests, so it's really necessary. It also comes with expert mode, which limits the amount of experience you get so that you don't end up over leveled. And it stores that experience so that if you wish, you can adjust your level to be higher or lower. Which is really nice because, you know, one of the problems is it has so many side quests that you can easily way over level yourself, so you're not actually having a challenge. But if you want to have a challenge, you can adjust your level however you wish.
That's pretty unique, actually. Most games, you just kind of have to not do stuff if you want to underlevel yourself.
Yeah, no. In this one, you're encouraged to do as much as possible because, let's say, for example, you're doing all these quests, and then you're like, I don't want to grind. Well, it's like I have all this stored experience. I can just raise myself to this level. Sorry, my voice is going out on me a little bit. I can just raise myself to this level and then just challenge it right here, which is nice. And yeah, Silas, you ever played a Xenoblade game before?
No, actually. I tried Xenogears, is it?
Yeah, that's the old one.
The one that was on the Switch that came out.
Oh, Xenoblade 2?
I always mix up Xenogears and Xenoblade, so I'm probably mixing it up, but
Xenoblade 2 was on the Switch.
okay, yeah. Didn't really care for it. I tried it. Not a fan.
Yeah, I would expect it as much. I really don't like the main character of Xenoblade 2.
That was an issue. Yeah, actually. He was just kind of... It didn't really click with him at all.
I think then you'll probably like... Shulk is much more liked as a main character. He's a scientist.
I mean, does he have a scrap of personality?
Yes.
then
He has a
yeah,
lot
I'll
of
probably like
personality.
him.
Within the first few hours, you have him yelling, "I'll kill you" at a character.
Oh,
There's a
I'm
lot
into
of
it.
stuff that
Okay.
happens. Tons of personality in Xenoblade 1. I like most of the main cast of Xenoblade 2. I do not like the main character, which is a problem.
Also, the dub voices were an interesting choice.
The reason why they were that way is because Xenoblade 1 was only localized in the UK.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they got a lot of English voice actors.
That
Which-
surprisingly enough, that was jarring to me when I first I only was introduced to Xenoblade Chronicles in a meme video from Just a Pancake, fucking Kingdom Hearts meme, and just seeing a random cutscene in that game with all English voice actors, just myriad of accents, including one that sounded like I don't actually know where specifically they were from, but yeah, it was a very distinctive accent that you don't really hear outside of English productions. It's very strange.
I would definitely say check out Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition. If you didn't like 2, that's okay. 2 is very different from 1 in a lot of ways.
I mean, really, anything that's any game that's decent for the Switch would be nice. Mine's kind of rotting.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's a very big world, and the music has all been a lot of the music has been recorded with higher quality equipment, so it sounds very crisp and very clear. And I've been enjoying the heck out of it. I've been experimenting with playing with the other characters since I never really did that in Xenoblade 1, and Dunban is so fun to play. He has one move that other moves kind of chain off of. So he's very much like a combo character, and he's a dodge tank. So that's a lot of fun.
Dodge tank? That's not something I've ever heard before.
Yeah, no, he draws aggro and then he dodges the attacks.
Huh.
Because he has to have a high agility to really function. Because agility is really broken in Xenoblade.
I mean, when it's done properly and actually works correctly, yeah, it's probably because that's kind of the.
Also, they've added something that I really like, which is you can set your character's appearance different from their armor.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Once you unlock the armor, you can change your appearance to that armor, and that mix and match armor sets.
Kind of transmogrify yourself, your base, what you look like at any time, regardless of what you're wearing.
Yeah. It's really awesome. And if you have any save file of Xenoblade 2, you start the game with 100,000 gold. So,
wait, if you beat it or have played,
if you have a save file of it.
I don't know if I do or not. I got rid of that game, so I'm kind of hoping I have a save. That would be nice.
They've also added a set of time attack challenges that you can take, and it unlocks special costumes for characters. Just a fun side thing to do. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I'm like dozens of hours in at this point, and I kind of want to get back to it because I've been having a ton of fun. Just now it's rowing time, British accents. Ha.
Yeah. References
They got some
that none of us get. Cool.
really,
Good job.
really fun line. Yeah. Aside from all of that,
Hmm.
uh, not really been much that I can do. Work's been busy. I've been working more because one of our cooks quit. Didn't even give it 2 weeks. Just walked out. Was saying he's stressed and having panic attacks. So, down one cook means I'm working more, and yeah, there's all this stuff with the protests happening. And yeah, it's really sad how broken my country is.
Yeah. Kind of debating if I want to, because like the D&D store I go to play games opened back up last Saturday. I was too late to go because I found out at 7 p.m. and they start at 5. So, and I'm an hour away. So that was kind of a bust, but kind of looking forward to going this Saturday. And then I found out there's riots in the city that it's in, and 2 people were shot and killed. And like 30 were injured. So that's great. Awesome. I guess that probably feels selfish to make it about myself, my own interests, but like that's kind of how it hits you.
I've seen a lot of videos of people being violent. It's enough to make you feel like there's nothing we can do to fix it. You know, it's enough to make you feel despair. But
It is voting day, so can, and I mean, you're not hearing this live, obviously, but I hope everyone listening to this voted. Makes you feel like you did something for 5 seconds.
is it voting day?
Yeah, it's the second. I mean, it's not like the presidential election or anything, but yeah, you choose senator, local sheriff. There's a couple things you can vote on.
All right. I'll have to do that then. But yeah, that's it for my week. I was talking to Casey earlier, and I just said that the police department in my town had closed down the ramps after like 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. that lead into my city to stop any of that rioting from getting to my town, because there were people talking about coming to my town and burning down houses. So yeah.
Wow.
And stealing.
I assume you live in a wealthier part of whatever, and that's why, because it's a gated town or something, or
It's not a gated community. Or anything. It's just my town tends to have people who are a little bit better off, but I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't make it right by any means. It's just very surprising that someone would specifically target a town, especially not one that it's not the hotspot issue town.
I know. Yeah, they were like, why are we destroying our town? We can go destroy somebody else's town, sort of thing.
And they don't want to bus over to Beverly Hills,
so
where there are probably armed security and shit. So,
and I'll say this, because I feel like it needs to be addressed. What happened to George Floyd was not right by any. No, that should never have happened, and it's sick that does happen, and that happens way too often in our country. and I stand with the people who are protesting peacefully, and I really don't like that. I've seen a lot of police who are agitating peaceful protest. I saw this morning that in order for Trump to get a photo op in front of a church, police fired tear gas at the peaceful protest in front of the church to clear the way so he could get a photo op of him holding a Bible.
Really, really awkwardly. I saw the 45 seconds they got from all of that chaos. It's the most cringy propaganda fucking garbage ever.
So it's awful. There needs to be change, and he needs to get out of office. And in jail, probably.
That'd be nice.
I say probably because, I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah. Faith in my country's legal system is at an all-time low, especially with all the, child sex trafficking that just got released, and not many people are talking about it for understandable reasons.
Yeah. Anyway. Stay safe, everyone, and just don't let anything else be taken from you.
And stop setting fires, you morons. Just wanted to add that. That's... I did mention this to Zero when it suddenly occurred to me that people are setting fires in California in June. So, yeah.
Please don't set fires in June in California.
Yeah, no part of that is okay. I mean, it doesn't even matter where you are. Just don't start fire.
Yeah.
It's not...
Yeah.
But,
So
if there's anywhere, California, don't burn down a whole fucking city just because you're angry at one particular white family. Which tends to be how this fucking works.
So, Casey, how was your week?
My week? How the hell am I supposed to follow with anything on that?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Don't worry. Galarian Slowbro's Shelter turns into a Mega Man Buster in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Well, all right then.
He has a gun.
I mean, that was the third Pokemon game we didn't get. Gun.
Slowbro may not walk fast, but he's a quick shot.
Ew.
Your fault that you took that as ew.
So, I don't remember how it happened, whether I got my work done early or put it off until Sunday and did it then, but I found time to play and finish another game in my list of games I wanted to play, which was one of the Shantae games, the then most recent one. There's been one released since, but I haven't played that one yet. Still a fun series. It's just a nice, simple, fun, old school platformer kind of thing.
Yeah, I heard that came out recently. I was thinking about getting it at some point.
I have no idea whether it's good because I played the previous one, but that one's good. Can say that much. And then I started playing because it's super boiling, and I wanted to at least imagine I was cold. I started playing Subnautica again.
Oh.
Still a nice, relaxing game. Underwater survival and stuff. Yeah. It's fun enough, I guess. As I say, more relaxing than fun. It's just chill and swim and catch fishes and eat them.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
look
pretty perfect right now.
I look at Subnautica and I'm just like, man, this game looks so cool, but it's just, I don't know if it's for me, you know?
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's certainly things that I see and I appreciate that they exist, but I know that they're just not for me.
Because there's an oxygen meter in that, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I would rather die.
Okay.
That level of tension and underwater terrifyingness, I would rather just die right away.
It's not that kind of oxygen meter. It is very chill. You get a good idea of how long it's going to take for that meter to run out. And it gives you a lot of tools to very quickly get to the surface and get some air.
Yeah.
Oh, all right then.
Like,
Okay.
one of the very first things you can craft is, I forget what it's called, but it's basically a thing that you can turn on and it will become a flotation device. So it will just instantly start dragging you towards the surface at high speed.
That helps a lot, because I get really nervous when my exploration is tied to a meter.
Yeah, I tend to explore very slowly because I want to find everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a fun game. It's one of those survival and craft and Minecraft and all that shit, but actually designed as a game instead of a toy, which is the way I tend to look at those.
Yeah. I blame the sonic drowning noise, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all got a pretty solid like progression of what you're supposed to do in what order. So there is, you know, it's less random, less clunky, less designed for multiplayer that doesn't work very well, because it's only a single player game as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm just sort of getting to the point where I'm trying to explore and find a new place for another base to build so that I can start exploring further away and stuff. That's the thing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Making steady progress.
Yeah, it's nice. Fairly straightforward game. You can just chill and do stuff. It's cool. Heat has not helped me get anything done for the first 2 days of this week. I would like it to go away, and that is supposed to happen tomorrow according to the weather. So hopefully then I will be able to get one of the 2 commissions done that I was supposed to have done already, and then start working on the second. Hopefully get those done before the Patreon thing ticks over, and I need to get that done. So that's a thing that will have to happen. Trying to think whether I did anything else. I am no longer receiving the food parcels. That's probably a good thing, because some of the food spoiled without me noticing. That was a fun time disposing of all that. That was me being facetious. That was not a fun time. That was bad. You don't really know what will happen to things when they start rotting until you smell the things and start wondering, wait, would this actually be dangerous? And you Google it, and it turns out, potentially yes. You really should not let potatoes rot. That's a bad thing to happen. They are kind of poisonous when they do that.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I don't mean to ingest. I mean the gas that they emit is poisonous. And will totally make you pass out if you breathe it too much. So, yeah. That was a fun thing to find out through Google. But,
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, time to make some homemade weapon potato bomb.
Can the smell of rotten potatoes kill you? Yes. The gas that is emitted from rotten/rotting potatoes is dangerous. If the potatoes are kept in a mostly sealed room and they begin to rot, the room will fill with toxic gases that can and most likely will kill whoever enters that room.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Fury.
I thought it was just gonna be a pass out, but death?
Yep.
I mean, if it's strong enough for you to pass out, then if you're passed out in the room... Then...
Okay, if
Yeah,
you're in a
okay.
sealed room, yeah. Alright. That's awful.
So yeah, that was a fun thing that I learned. And also the carrots that had turned into mulch. That was also a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Last
getting
time I
those
got-
boxes anymore.
Last time I got celery, something similar happened. I just kept putting off eating it, and then when I got it, it was like just pretty much mush in the shape of celery.
Yeah. So I have a pretty significant stockpile of food at this point, and I have been told that I can leave the house as of 30th of June. Which is not a thing I'm going to be doing because it will then be 30th of June. And I don't want to turn into a roast person.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's good you can go out now. Why would you want to?
Yeah.
It's time for wanting to go out because the weather is brisk and nice. Is over.
Yeah. So that's cool. I guess I could go to the shop in like layers of clothing so I don't get sunburned. That would be a novel experience. To be honest, I might actually do it just for the sake of getting outside once in a while. But you know,
It helps. It helps a lot actually to go outside for
That's-
something mundane.
the stir craziness in me at this point, just knowing that I can't makes me really, really want to. And literally no other reason, because I would normally be staying indoors otherwise. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Well, it's not. It's boiling, but you know. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Maybe. Probably? Yeah, I think so. Sisa, how you doing?
Pretty all right. Things have been going decently well. On the personal front, the world's going to shit, but what you gonna do? So
Not
we
set
at
fires.
work.
That's what you're gonna do. Is not set fires.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna not set fires. So at work, I think the month April, I think we got a $300 bonus, which was nice. They started this month off by having us in a meeting, and they're like, "Hey, we've lost so much money that we're going to furlough a lot of people, and then cut wages. And if none of that works to get our costs back, we're going to start firing people." So maybe that was a little premature to give us all fairly good-sized bonuses like that. But on the good side of things, the pay cuts are going to start at the top first, supposedly. So I probably won't be getting much of a cut because I'm literally at the bottom. So that's not too bad. My boss and some of my older coworkers were telling me about. They call them MUDs, which is kind of a delightful name. It's mandatory unpaid days, where normally with your days off you would get. I work every 5th weekend, so I get the Friday before, the Friday after off. It's confusing to explain, but it's easier on a calendar. But anyway, I would get an additional day before and an additional day after, so I would get like a free, an extra weekend essentially. But I mean, I wouldn't get paid for it. But it's only 2 days a month, so it's not that bad. So who knows? I'm hoping they come up with various things. But the downside is they put a hiring freeze on the entire company, and we were already short-staffed. And then we have 2 people jump to other, and 1 person quit in my department. So we're not doing any new projects anymore. We're just doing maintenance and trying to stay above the water, basically. Which means I'm now on vacuum duty every night, which isn't bad actually, because it's a riding vacuum and I get to sit down. So I just get like a dust mop to sit on instead of the hard plastic seat, and just drive around the vacuum all night, listen to the podcast. It's not too bad. So work hasn't, aside from the potential stuff in the future, work has not been too stressful. Nice. On the gaming front, I played more Disgaea 5, getting a little bored of it. It's the same thing I always do, as I make one printy that is the most powerful thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Disgaea. I ignore the main cast for the most part and make one printy that is the most powerful thing on the planet, and then just beat the game with it. The downside is in Disgaea 5, there's a new monster called Wrestling, and a lot of their special attacks involve and throwing you. Printies explode when you throw them. So they have a nasty habit of grabbing my most powerful character and throwing him at the rest of my team, and then they die because the explosion is half of the person's health, and my main character is level 400, and the rest of my team are level 100, maybe, if that. So I've gotten game overs once or twice because of that, but I refuse to change. So
it's the same problem we're running into with Final Fantasy VII Remake, Persona 5. It's the same problem again.
Here's the difference, though. If I just make my numbers bigger and actually pay attention, then it solves the problem. There's usually only one wrestler on every mat, if even that. They're pretty rare. So I just target that first, and then I'm fine. And sometimes I send out cannon fodder to lull them closer. It works. I have figured ways around my own bullshit, okay? It's fine.
Dark Souls.
I mean, kind of. Because Printies have worse stats than every other class in the game. So I'm essentially playing the Destitute, the one that starts with a wooden board. Fuck, what was that called?
Fuck.
Now I've forgotten. That's with Shane. But that, I have essentially played that race in Disgaea. Because, honestly, Printies are treated like shit, and I like the idea of one of them being so powerful that he can just kill everything.
Deprived.
That's it, deprived. I mean, granted, in fairness, in Disgaea, Printies are horrible, horrible human souls set for punishment. So, I mean, they're probably all criminals and murderers and rapists and stuff. That's kind of the point. But, yeah. I can't really say anything about the story of the game. I mean, I haven't been skipping it or anything. It's just... It's a Disgaea game. I mean, they're okay. there's a plot about an evil overlord, and you got to stop him, and you got to get more powerful and be stronger because might is right, and that's kind of it. But then friendship, and then it's over. Yeah, it's they're all basically the same, interchangeably, except for I think 3. You played as like an actual like mad scientist. It was kind of nice, but I haven't fully beat that. I've just kind of put it off to the side because I wanted to play more Just Cause 4 because Casey really recommended that.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun, honestly. The movement is fun, and it does not take long to get used to it. I wish there was a better way to accelerate that. And some of the grappling mods are kind of confusing when you're trying to do specific stuff. Like I had to get a monster truck up the side of a building. So I just kind of grabbed the monster truck with one end and the building with the other one, and then you have to kind of just drag it up and can't grapple and use a new grapple to take it even higher. But it kept canceling the new grapple, so I never got the vehicle anywhere half the time. It was oddly frustrating, but oh well. Or the grapple would disappear when it linked with itself because it got close enough. I don't know. There was some issues with the grappling in general. Overall, it's a very fun game. The characters seem a little... I can't say they're generic because the main character is, I kind of nailed it last time, straight out of Borderlands. Like, he's just a weird, super-powered, illogical character in a completely straight universe.
Completely straight.
Keep in mind, I've only played like a third of the game, so I haven't really run into any of the big, powerful bad guys yet.
I mean, I feel like by now you must have met the fucking film director.
I've met her once. I haven't actually done a lot of the sides. I've done some of the area clearing mission and just kind of expanded my territory. I didn't realize that in order to unlock the side quest, you kind of need to do those little run through the ring at 200 miles an hour or air glide through the hoops or whatever, and then they appear on your map. So I've actually been going back through my already unlocked territory and just doing all those that I can, and then just kind of having fun with the side quests. It's an enjoyable experience. It's nice and relaxing. None of them are exceptionally hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I can safely recommend that game yet, but it is enjoyable for what I've played. So that's good. I believe that's it on the gaming front. Ironically, I started watching Fire Force, the anime.
Oh, I thought you cut out. I thought you said Firefly. I was very confused.
No, I should probably watch that at some point, though, but I need to know if it has a satisfying ending or not. Otherwise,
it
no.
does.
Oh, well, perfect then. Then it is on the list.
I mean, it literally has a film that is there to be an ending for it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a satisfying ending or not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's good. So yeah, Fire Force. It takes a little while to hit its stride, I'll admit. The episodes are a little boring, a lot of character introduction. But I'm on the last couple episodes of the season, and oh boy, that combat is glorious. That is some really good animation. Although I will admit the power creep was less of a creep and more of a landslide. The main character's brother can stop time by freezing the universe with his fire powers.
What?
Yeah. And then the main character rapidly gains the ability to speed up past the speed of light. And he moves so fast that he rewinds time, and that's how he reappears. Because when he moves fast enough, past the speed of light, his body disintegrates into atoms or motes of light, and then It's really wild. It's pretty nuts, but it looks really cool. And
Okay, I mean, we
Yeah.
literally just talked about previous to this for the anime reflux. We talked about a show where a woman could swat bullets out of the air at Mach 3, and yeah, okay, this what you're describing doesn't sound that outlandish by comparison, strangely enough. So
yeah, at least it's not just them that can do that kind of shit. This feels like one of those things that they're glimpsing into the highest tier of what the enemy combatants can do, and then they're going to dial it back a little bit. Because this, if every battle was like the one that's happening right now that I'm watching, it would be very. I mean, you're like jumping straight into the Boo Saga, essentially.
Yeah. So what is this again?
A Fire Force.
Oh, this is okay. Okay, yeah, Fire Force. Got it.
Yeah, the series where everyone has firepower because people spontaneously light on fire.
Yeah, combustion and all that.
Yeah, which turns out most of those combustions are actually not real. They're caused by a cult, and so there is actually antagonistic thing in this universe. It's not just they're fighting random chance, essentially.
Fire cult.
Yeah, they're not. They're cuckoo crazy.
Burn
And
everything.
They're
Yeah.
the hottest
Okay.
new
Power
religion.
maniacs.
It's not just burn everything. It's turn the planet into a second sun to emulate their sun god.
That's okay. Okay. You took the burn everything and then took it a step further. I think you need to sit back and realize that you won't survive.
Oh, they don't care.
that feels
They
like a
want
very
that.
Tower of Babel kind of thing going on there.
That's the preferred way to die because that's the fastest way to get to their god. So they want that, and you can't reason with cultists. It's good to have a villain that's like, no, we just want you and everyone to die. That
But
is our
why?
entire goal.
Because we want to.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's their motivation. I want everyone to burn. That's it.
You could cure cancer. Why are you trying to make dinosaurs? Because I want to make dinosaurs.
Because curing
Exactly.
cancer is boring. Dinosaurs are awesome. So it actually, there's a couple of little battles leading up to the big showdown that I watched. It is in 21 and 22, I believe, episode wise. One of the characters has these giant steel arms that she can propel at jet speeds, and she fights a bunch of people that can just make like little fire. And I appreciate that the anime does not hold back in the fact that they just get turned to mush when they get hit by these fists. There's not a lot of blood, honestly, but you can imagine the crunch of skulls concaving. It's very. I appreciate that. In a lot of anime, it's just like, we have to just knock them out, but no, she hits them at Mach 3 with fists, and what you would expect to happen happens. They don't get back up. So that's good. I have been very much enjoying that. I'm so glad I stuck through it because I watched the first 2 episodes way back in the day when it first, and I just kind of stopped. I moved on to whatever was next, and I'm happy I went back to it. And the latest edition was right before the podcast. I was browsing and I haven't read it yet, so this is entirely blind recommendation, but Isekai Transporter by Bottle Comics. It's about the driver of Truckcon who's hired.
Oh.
He's hired by alternate realities to send them heroes by smashing them with his rock.
All right, can you give me a link to this?
You may want to Google it yourself. I found it on a site that I cannot link.
Isekai Transporter. Okay.
Yeah. It looks like it's 14 chapters, from what at least the archive that I found. And in chapter 3, he misses someone, rips off the bumper of his truck, and beats them to death with it. And because he's very determined to do his job.
I found it.
Yeah. So the premise alone is enough for me to recommend that. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. It could be horribly misspelled. I don't care. It's entertaining. And I believe that is my week.
Okay then.
Oh, real quick. They remastered Wonderful 101 on the PS4. If you're one of those people that did not want to get a Wii U or a Wii or whatever the fuck it was, get it. Because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it barely sold anything, so it'd be nice if we could boost sales of that game a little bit.
So yeah, I
It's a
call that an episode.
transporter. Gotta make a hero delivery.
You mean murder?
Yep. Hero delivery.
So thanks for listening and stuff.
Yeah. No,
Everybody.
that's a good place to end it.
Sorry, 300 was a little underwhelming, but do you actually care anymore about the numbers?
The world is kind of on fire.
Yeah. We should stop
And to
doing
make-
that with the making it on fire. Please stop making it on fire.
And to make things worse, Carol Baskin now has control of Joe Exotic Zoo. The land has been granted to her.
So, is he gonna disappear? I mean, like, and then his tigers are gonna look really happy? I'm suggesting she's gonna kill him and feed him to the tigers.
He's in prison, so I think he's safe from that. But
You're never safe from the tigers.
all of his zoo land is going to her because of a copyright lawsuit. When he tried to copy her style and discredit her.
Well, interesting. Good for her. She murdered those people and stuck it out, and you know what? She won in the end.
This is an awful year.
Yeah. Hey, look, when you're listening to this, tear gas isn't pouring out of your speakers, so we haven't fucked up the worst.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Patreon, YouTube channel, comments, the fucking Discord link in the description. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.